Hi there and welcome to the Nailingtons tutorial for Overwatch nails. Today I'm going to be making an attempt at doing Mei nail art, so we'll just see how that goes. To begin with, we are going to need a lot of things, mainly a lot of blue nail varnishes because her colour is mostly blue, a quick dry top coat, a little paintbrush, some cotton wool pads, a small bowl, don't ruin it with acetone like I did. We are also going to need these pieces of paper, which I've printed out and I will supply on the blog and in the links below, which will basically be our transfer for this week of Overwatch nails. Now the game is released next week, so I thought it would be nice to do some theme nails as we lead up to the release. So today we are going to be doing this lady here. This is Mei. We're not going to use this image, this is for future reference, and so are these are for later days. But as you can see, it took me quite a bit of paper to get the right scaling on these, so hopefully they're all okay. Now to transfer those, we are going to be using some rubbing alcohol as well. Everything you need for this video I will list in the description below. I will also possibly be using some acrylic paints that I got from the works, just to paint in her hair color and her outfit color a little bit later on, but I'm not sure if I want to do that yet because that might ruin everything. Also, which I don't have right here, is we are going to use a foundation sponge to do a small gradient on the middle finger of this, and also my favorite white base coat for transferring images onto. This is a Simple Color Snowy White. I go through so many bottles of it, so I'm going to be using a lot of that today and this week. Now, when I talk about the photo, the image transfer, these images have been printed from my PC to a laser printer on normal paper. Now if you print on an inkjet piece of paper, the image won't transfer properly. It will be very faint and stuff. So this is basically heat transferred onto the piece of paper, so it's like an ink layer on top of the paper rather than absorbed in. So when we use the alcohol on that, it will transfer from the paper to the nail, hopefully without any problems, but we will see. Hopefully this will work. I don't know why I've called this tutorial because it's more like trial and error, but hopefully by the end of it, it will make some sort of sense as a tutorial. Well, just have to wait and see. Okay, so to begin with, I used a base coat. Oops, oh no, I've just smushed that nail. That's so annoying. Oh, rats. That's my important nail, and I've just absolutely... Don't start filming while your nails are still wet. To begin with, I've used a base coat of Ultra Repair from Essence. It can be used as a base coat or just on its own. And then I have used one coat of Sinful Colors Snowy White on these two nails, and then two coats on the nail that we're going to be putting the image on. And then for the thumb and the little finger, for the thumb it's a Color Club nail varnish, which is number 997 Over the Moon. Apparently it's so pretty, so pretty. And then a holo from Boots. This Boots own brand 17, which doesn't appear to have a name. Oh yes, it does. It's called Silver. Very unsurprising. But it's a really reasonably priced holo for, I think it was £3.49, and it sparkles like rainbows. Maybe not so much in this light, but anyway, it's going to be great for what we're using it for, which is the little finger there. Let's take our really sticky blueberry muffin that needs to go in the bin soon because it's really old, and paint that on there. Oh goodness me, this is going to be interesting. Hadn't opened that beforehand. Take our normal turquoise sea and paint that on as well. And then our Colour Club super shiny nail polish. And put that on the top. It's going to be beautiful gradient. Slide those out the way. Put those on those two nails. There you go. Now, because we don't have a whole hand to gradient, we're just going to have to leave that to dry for a little while. And then do the same again and again and build the layers up as they dry. I'm not going to keep pushing down on layers now because it's too wet, and it will just pull that nail varnish straight back off or start getting sticky, so I need to leave a bit of a break in there. With a stamping plate from Born Pretty, which has some snowflakes on it, cotton pad, stamper and scraper. So I'm just going to put a bit of nail varnish remover on the cotton pad so I can wipe as I go. I'm going to be stamping with the same polish that we used for the base coat as well. It's not the strongest of white polishes to stamp with, but it will do the job for some more subtle things like this. So I'm just going to scrape across there, wipe it, pick it up on there, and stamp down onto the nail to create what will hopefully be, if it focuses, a little tiny snowflake. I've paper down there so I can get a white line, because on some of her armour on the edge there is a white line with some grey chevrons, and that twirls out there, and then we're going to put the small Hearthstone like logo onto the small finger. Okay, so my camera did run out of battery. That was really not very helpful. But as I was saying before this cut out, I've put some rubbing alcohol into this bowl. You can also use Listerine that has alcohol in it to create the same effect. I'm going to use cotton pad and of course my little cutout of Mei. So now is the moment of truth. We will dip that in the cloth and dip this in there and dip that in there and just try and line her up as best as possible onto the nail. Hold her there a few seconds, and then I'm going to place this cotton pad over the top and just squish down. Now you can hold it there for, depending on how good the product you're using is, you can hold it there for 10 to 20 seconds. Don't forget to use even pressure as well. Now these images were created from the original drawings from the Overwatch characters. Obviously they are copyright Blizzard, but I used Picasso to turn them into line drawings and then altered the contrast highlights to make them as much of a line drawing as possible to be able to use them for image transfer. Now, let's see. Oh, almost there. She just doesn't have a neck yet. Now the decision whether to paint her or not is the difficult one here, because can you see that? There we go. Okay, so after deciding not to paint Mei in, I just very, very carefully went over the outlines. Very carefully. It was a job I mucked up quite a few times, so had to try over and over again, but I just wiped the, I wiped the paint away with the alcohol again, so Next, I've just drawn some little template zigzag lines to match in with her, chevron lines rather, to match in with her armour. I'm going to paint those in, and then a little swirl on the small finger for some more armour detail. So, I'll take more grey. I'm going to do again, just to make sure these are super neat. Let's get the washi paper, put that along the nail like so, and get the grey paint and paint. Yay, it worked. So now I can begin to try and paint that in very carefully with white nail polish, I think. But again, very, very carefully, because if I do it wrong, it's just going to really, really look terrible. But it's really hard for me to paint and see the video at the same time. Once again, thank you so much for watching this very random tutorial that was kind of half a tutorial and half just trial and error. If you have enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, share, all the things that everyone usually asks you to do in a YouTube video. Also, the full write-up will be on nailingtons.com. Come and visit me on Instagram at instagram.com/nailingtons. And any useful links will hopefully be in the description below, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks again for watching.